Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. This is your weekly TNA Impact Wrestling review. This is LK Live. I'm your host, LK from KocoSports.net. Please put in the comments, was this show A win? Was this show B, a tie? Or was this show C, a loss? Now, this is different from many other TNA reviews. This isn't going to be one where I suck TNA's cock. But then again, this isn't going to be one where I bash TNA for being TNA. I sat down as a wrestling fan and I watched this show, and now I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions and break this down for you. And I personally, straight off the bat, I'm going to give this show a win. Okay, this was a big win for me. I very much enjoyed this show. I took a mini hiatus from Impact because, quite frankly, I had enough. I watched the final Deletion. Then after that, I kind of lost track of things. But I'm starting to get back on track onto where I am with certain companies like Impact, New Japan, and all this and that. So I kind of know where I am now in the realm of pro wrestling, and I'm caught up. I've done NXT, CWC, SmackDown Raw. I'm all caught up now. And I watched Impact this afternoon. I've just got back from work. I'm reviewing it now. Big win from me. Generally, this show was from top to bottom entertaining. There were some good matches in there. But more importantly than that, guys, and even if you don't like this show, you have to respect the effort put in by not just the wrestlers, but the company, the creative staff, whoever's writing this. Because, guys, normally for Raw, which is 3 hours in length, I usually have about 5 pages of notes. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is a 2-hour show. So in 2 hours, TNA is doing the exact same as WWE is doing in 3 hours, which just shows how much effort they're putting into these 2 hours because they want them to be good. And in my opinion, they are. So the whole show starts off, we're at the Hardy compound. Okay, and again, put in the comments what your thoughts on this week's Impact were. So they start off with, they're at the Hardy compound. Rebby is playing a piano. Matt and Jeff are singing "I'll Fade Away and Class Myself as Obsolete," as Jeff is there with these awesome eyeballs. I don't know if he must be using contact lenses to what he is. Not must be, he is using contact lenses to kind of change the color of his eyeballs. Apologies, change the color of his eyeballs. And he looks really freaky. Matt Hardy plays. This is the best Matt Hardy I've ever seen. Like, I hated him in Ring of Honor. It just didn't fit right. I didn't mind him as Big Money Matt, but I really dig in this Brother Nero stuff. I really, really am. Maxwell then starts playing the piano, and Matt Hardy pretty much has an orgasm. Matt makes Brother Nero go to the zone of impact with him, as he calls it, and Senor Benjamin must protect Rebel and King Maxwell at all costs. I love this. Great way to start the show, because immediately off the bat, you're like, okay, this isn't the traditional wrestling where we have pyro and we go to the ring for a 10-minute promo. Okay, what we in for is this is a bit different. I like this a lot. So, speaking of traditional in-ring promo, we have Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis. They come out for the opening promo. If you take your mind to last week, Bennett won a battle royal for the number one contendership for the World Championship, that match being in tonight's show. He won by eliminating Moose, which is what the whole show is based upon here today. Bennett wants Moose to come out, but Lashley comes out and a big pop. And this, I don't like this. Okay, I'm going to be honest, heel versus heel. I don't like this at all. And what I don't like about this is, okay, now when these people go to these shows, it's at the Universal Studios. Okay, these fans, aren't paying to watch Impact. They're paying to use the facilities that Impact has taped at. Okay, they're going to go on the Jurassic Park ride or the Hulk ride or whatever the fuck is at Universal Studios. I haven't been in about 5 years. Okay, so from that being said, at the end of the day, these aren't hardcore wrestling fans. Okay, they do not follow this show from week to week. Lashley is a heel. Okay, he is the heel. He is the world champion. He's this big badass heel. He's spit in the face of the company. He defies the authority, not in an Austin way. He defies it. He throws the X Division down, which is the heart and soul of Impact Wrestling, or TNA. I don't like calling Impact Wrestling, it's TNA. So, as a whole, I think that one of the biggest letdowns are the crowd, because they're cheering Lashley here. That's not the case. They shouldn't be cheering Lashley at all. Lashley's the big badass heel. But then when you look at it at the same point, they shouldn't be cheering Mike Bennett because he's just a piece of shit. Like, it's really difficult. And I think the way they set that up is, I understand what they did here. They're trying to be different, which I respect. And they're trying to get you, okay, what's going to happen with Mike Bennett? This is basically, this whole show was a prelude to what's going to happen, which is Mike Bennett versus Moose. And I have no issue with that. I really, really don't. But anyway, Lashley comes out. He's convinced he will win and runs down his victims and makes tonight's World Heavyweight Championship match against Mike Bennett a no disqualification match. Bennett convinces everyone, and Moose is basically on his side. Moose then comes out. Moose cuts a promo, and I don't mean to be horrible, but someone has a speech impediment. Sorry, I had down my notes. At the time I thought that was funny, but now looking back, I think I'm an absolute piece of shit. Don't beat me up, Moose, please. Moose cuts a promo, calls Lashley a liar, and that he decides who walks out the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, again giving you a hook, making you want to see the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. That I do like. Then we start off with Broken, and then we go to our first match of the evening. We have Broken Matt Hardy versus Crazy Steve. Crazy Steve is one half of the TNA Tag Team Champions in the very thin division that they have. They really need to sort that out. Ring of Honor has the best tag team. TNA has the worst tag team division. Like, there's just no teams. I mean, you have the Hardys. You have the Wolves when Davey comes back. He did come back, but he's not full-time back yet. I think it was just for the series of matches that Eddie Edwards had with Bobby Lashley. So you got the Hardys, Decay. I'm struggling to name anymore. But back to this match, I think we do. This is probably two of the best characters in wrestling right now. And when I mean wrestling, I mean sports entertainment. Okay, if you're listening to this and you're a TNA diehard, okay, and there might be lots of you out there, let this sink into you. This show is sports entertainment. It's not pro wrestling heavy. It's sports entertainment. Okay, this is good sports entertainment. Okay, this isn't great pro wrestling. The wrestling matches on this show are not very good. -1. Well, the main event's okay. But there was one good match. The rest was great stories, because that's what sports entertainment is all about. This isn't five-star match. This is great storytelling. So if you watch this from a sports entertainment point of view, so if you watch this as if you're watching WWE, you're not looking for the great five-star match. You're looking for a great storyline or a swerve, or let's see how this develops, or if he wins that championship, it will affect blah, 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 blah. That's what Impact's all about, and that's what I like. But these two, one being Matt, one being Crazy Steve, I think these guys, and if you noticed, I'm calling him Matt Hardy instead of Fat Hardy, because he has deleted Fat Hardy from his name. I say to this all the time. If Zack Ryder, okay, if hating Zack Ryder is wrong, in my existence, I never want to be right again. But if he came out there, if he had five-star performance, put effort in, sorted himself out, didn't bitch and moan and all this and that, I'd get behind the guy. You know, and I'm not one of those, like, when people are like, oh, you hate Kevin Owens. I do not hate Kevin Owens. Look at your screen right now. If you look at your screen right now, you see EC3, Lashley, you see Drew Galloway, the top three, in my opinion, TNA stars. Them in an alleyway. If you saw them coming out of an airport, if you saw these guys in your shopping center, you would think these guys are professional wrestlers. If you saw Kevin Owens in your shopping supermarket, you would think, as my girlfriend says all the time, that's the fat guy, which is what she calls him. When I run down the pay-per-view, people have names. Enzo, Amore, and Big Cass is the one with weird hair and the tall guy. Okay, they're distinguishing themselves. Sami Zayn, because she's listened to one Vince Russo, because I showed her where Vince Russo called him a taxi driver. I think that's absolutely fucking hysterical. Vince Russo may not be the creative genius. He may not be the best of anything. He may not be this and that. But I tell you what, that was a funny line. Every time I see him, I do picture taxi, and it's very funny. But again, that's what she calls Sami Zayn taxi, Kevin Owens fat. That's not me telling her to call it. That's what she calls it. And that's a hand-on-heart promise. Okay? Swearing my family's life here. I'm not bullshitting you. That's the honest fact. And it upsets me when I'm, like, after the Raw review, I looked in the comments and it's just, oh, you hate Kevin Owens, blah, blah, blah. Shame on you. Like, no, I don't hate Kevin Owens. I think he's an amazing wrestler, an absolutely phenomenal wrestler. I was rooting for him in the match. But why am I getting judged because I think wrestlers should be in shape? I podcast. I do not need to be in shape, okay? He is a highly paid athlete. Should be in top-notch condition. Sorry, my opinion. Anyway, we'll go back to Matt Hardy and Crazy Steve. Put your comments on at the end and we'll get to actually halfway through here, probably when we get to page 3 of my notes, we might stop off and have some live comments chat, which is where we get a bit loosey-goosey. So Steve, just to really add to his really great character, before the match begins, he's like drooling. It really is awesome. Matt bites Steve during the test of strength. Matt hits a side effect and a twist of fate to get the win. And because of of how good the Broken Matt character is actually becoming a babyface, and it's going to become a Hardy's babyface run. That's how I see it. I would love a swerve at the end of this. Is Brother Nero turns on Matt, and Matt becomes babyface, Jeff becomes heel. So you can continue this rivalry as long as damn possible. That's what that. If I'm here, and I saw the viewership figures for the final Deletion episode, and I'm seeing them now. They're still at they're at 350,000 for this week's episode of Impact, which is very good still. Before with final Deletion, they're scraping 500,000. That's a big jump. Okay, there's a huge difference and probably a decent financial difference. So if I'm TNA, I want this to last as biologically long as possible. Steve, though, after the match, cuts a promo. He says, "Although I'm alone, the Decay is everywhere. King Maxwell is now Rosemary's baby." Love this feud. This is TV goodness. The match itself was like a star and a half. There was really nothing memorable at all about this match, but I just absolutely love the story. And now you're like, what does he mean? I have to stay and watch this show. They have a video package promoting the X Division plus the Ultimate X. I really did dig this a lot. We have go to a backstage promo with Matt Hardy and Brother Nero. Matt Hardy tries to FaceTime Revy, but no answer. And Rosemary is basically creeping up on Maxwell's cot. I don't know what you guys Americans call a cot. I don't know what you call it, like a baby bed. I don't know what you call it, but to us English, it's called a cot. Then we have an Ultimate X match for the X Division Championship. This was vacant after Lashley threw the belt on the floor. This is Gauntlet style. It kind of makes no sense because the two who start, in theory, could just grab the belt and be done with it, and then we just wasted our time. But again, they're trying to come up with something new. It might work, it might not, but whatever happens, they tried. In the end of the day, to me, as a fan, I want to see 110% effort in the product, and I'm getting 120% effort. It may not be the best show of all, and I don't care if I sound like a TNA cocksucker, because I'm really, really not. I think TNA has sucked, but this is good television. Okay, their pay-per-views, it's a different ballgame. I thought Slammiversary sucked, and that I did a review on that, didn't really like it, and I took some time off, and now I'm back, and I'm happy I'm back, because this is good television. And any of you out there who says this show sucks, quite frankly, you didn't watch this show, okay? Or you're watching it with a wrong point of view, or not point of view, that's wrong to say, didn't mean to demind you like that, a wrong look at the show. Look at this as sports entertainment, not pro wrestling, okay? So Trevor Lee and DJZ are the first two out. They have a decent enough exchange. It's nothing too bad. Andrew Everett comes out. They did this lovely sequence where Everett hits a drop toe hold on DJZ, who gets kneed in the face by Trevor Lee. That's pretty nice. Mark Andrews comes out. I'm sorry, I refuse to call him Andrews. Mark Andrews hits a super hurricane runner off the top. We come back from commercial. Rockstar Spud and Braxton Sutter are in the ring now. Mark Andrews hits a running flip to the floor. Everett springboard moonsault to the floor. DJZ running springboard flip to the floor. Lee hits a belly to back onto the steel steps. Everett hits a lethal and a filthy spiked hurricane runner. Spud then beats on Sutter, twatter, cunter, bitcher, whatever the fuck you want to call this jabron, with a steel chair. Lee and Everett then both have the belt in their hands. DJZ springboards, grabs the belt. He wins the championship. Hasn't been champion since 2012. Very, very long time from DJZ to not have the championship. I'm glad DJZ got the win here. I'm looking forward to seeing where we can go. Will Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett with the Helms Dynasty, will there be some tension, so to speak, amongst the ranks of the Helms Dynasty now? Because he said he has it, and then Everett can say, hey, look, I have that belt. And Lee can be like, hey, I had that belt. Hey, look, why don't we have a triple threat or one-on-one, whatever. I don't know, but Bound for Glory is coming up in 4 weeks from Sunday, so I really hope we get this card narrowed down. So me personally, I want to see a Lee versus Everett match where the winner gets the managerial rights for Gregory Helms. that to me would be interesting because I like the dynamic of Gregory Helms with these two. You know, they're both from Carolina. Sorry, I like that. I really do. Decent enough match, 3 stars. It was a spot fest, but I was in the mood for a spot fest. I really was. And with these shows like this, I kind of like them every now and then because the whole show, I mean, they're big men. These are big, muscly wrestlers wrestling. When I see these little guys, I want to see flip, flop, and fly. And they did. And the story was they would do anything to get that championship belt. We go backstage with EC3. He puts over tonight's main event. Eli Drake then comes in and puts over their match. You know, 2 decent promos, cutting 2 decent promos. I don't see anything wrong with this. I mean, Eli Drake has a great look. I think his promos are magnificent, very underrated. I love his. It's not an insult; it's just a fact of life line. And I love his dummy. Yeah, I think that's absolutely magnificent. I think you could create an app and charge people 49 pence to have this dummy. Yeah, because I personally would pay that. Or you could make a YouTube video of it and make some money off the YouTube revenue. I don't know. That's up to TNA to decide, but I bet they'll do nothing with it. But EC3, I don't need to put EC3 over to you people. You people are an intelligent bunch. You know what it's all about in infantry. Then we have Galloway. He comes out. He's out in all black, hood up, slow, methodical walk to the point where I'm like, hey, is he trying to mimic my boy? If you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, you get Randy Orton. Why Drew? Why Chance? As Galloway attacked Damien Sandow, or Aaron Rex as he's now known as, last week in a brutal attack. He smashed his head in the stairs a few times. Drew says the fans turned their back on him once he lost the World Championship. No one cared about him once he lost. And if he sees Aaron Rex again, he'll get put in the bloody hospital. TNA president Billy Corgan comes out. Galloway calls Corgan Dixie Carter's a little bitch. Rex then comes out. He charges to the ring. Galloway meets him at the end of the ramp. They brawl. Security comes out, separates them. More brawling, more security. Really, really, really good stuff here. I want to see Galloway and Rex fight. I want it to be inside a cage. Not Lockdown, sorry, that was months ago. Outbound for Glory. And remember, I don't read spoilers, okay? The night is dark for the spoilers. I don't know what's going on, but that's why I'm saying I want. I don't know if the match it's probably just a one-on-one match. I want either a death match scenario or a cage match where both men want to get their hands on each other so bad they just want to be locked in a cage like animals and just fight. So I want to see Galloway versus Rex, EC3 Lashley, Lee versus Everett, an X Division Championship match, maybe Eddie Edwards versus DJZ. Who else? I want the Decay versus Brother Nero and Jeff and Matt Hardy. Sorry, I think Bound for Glory could be decent if booked properly, but I did enjoy that segment. Matt Hardy in another backstage vignette tells Rebbe on FaceTime that Vineyard says Rosemary is in the house. Again, trying to keep your attention, trying to not make you switch the television set off. They have Eli Drake versus EC3. 2 men, again, who look like wrestlers. If you saw these guys come out of the gym, you're like, holy fuck, he might be a wrestler. Drake has his punches were so good, I took note here, that he has a really great worked punch. Lots of people are using forearms or open hand slaps, but Drake's fucking strikes are really good. And I like how he cheats. Okay, Eli Drake is one of those people who might go under some people's radars. But for me, I'm a big Eli Drake fan. I love the way how he cheats. I love the way how he's a prick. I love the way how he doesn't want you to cheer him. Okay, he's a heel. His job is to get heel heat. His job is to make you want to punch him as a viewer. I look at him, and he talks. He puts himself over left, right, and center. He's such a prick. I want to punch the guy. Okay, simple as that. He's doing his job. EC3 hits the TK3 and the 1% to get the win. Decent match. You know, I'm a fan of both men, so I wasn't really disappointed either way. Let me get some live comments. I'm expecting a very strange reaction to this video. If it's not very good reaction to this video, then I might stop doing them. But 2 likes, 0 dislikes so far. I like that a lot. No live comments. That's strange. Lots of people are watching. Well, a few people are watching right now. That's strange that there's no live comments. But hey ho, I don't live and die by the comments. I'm here to do my job, and my job is to review this show. Page 4. Sorry if you can hear the page turning in the background. We have backstage where Ali, she has balloons because she's having a championship celebration. We are back at the Hardy house, the Hardy compound. Rebby has King Maxwell in a safe room. Senior Benjamin takes Maxwell as Rebby looks for Rosemary. I like that. Just little things like that, just to keep you occupied, keep your attention, to remind you what's going on, ready for the grand finale segment. There was like literally on this show, there was about 20 segments at least, and some of you may not like that, but I like that a lot. And when I want to watch a TV show, that's what I want to see. Backstage, DJZ celebrates his win, and it legitimately looked like it meant a lot to him. That makes me very happy when I see a guy who wins a championship belt and it means something, because then I actually care about his title run. Ali then comes out. She's the new Knockouts champion. She comes out for a championship celebration. A loud Ali chants. Sayana, however you say her fucking name. She comes out. She interrupts and looks pissed off. Maria Kanellis blames Gail Kim and says this celebration isn't for Ali, as she asks her to lay down and a ref comes in. The crowd is basically screaming no, but Ali lays down. Maria covers 1, 2, 3. Maria is now the Knockouts champion. Insane heel heat. But whilst that is still happening, you're still getting Ali over as that babyface character for sympathy reasons. And when Ali turns on Maria Kanellis, you are going to get an insane pop, an insane reaction, and it's going to be special, and it's going to make her a star. So with that being said, I'm happy with this. Some people are, but this, what is it? People like to use the word term hot-shotting the title. But I like this because it's getting to the point now where, okay, Maria's now a Knockouts champion. Okay, I want to see her get her fucking ass kicked. And then Ali can just snap and just beat the shit out of her. I think that could be awesome. Backstage, you have Mike Bennett. He tries to persuade Moose to help him and even gives him a lead pipe. Very generous man, eh? We're at the Hardy compound as Rebby has a sword. Yes, you heard that right. She has a sword. Rosemary throws a baby off the roof, and as Rebby catches it, it's a doll. I like that a lot. Rebby then tells Senior Benjamin to prepare the battlefield. Like, dude, easy. Prepare the battlefield. You're hooked. What does she mean, battlefield? Oh, it must be Final Deletion. Oh, I liked Final Deletion. When's that? Oh, it says at the end of the show next week. I guess we'll have to watch next week's show. Simple. This show was to build to next week's show. That's how TV should be done. You should build to the next show, build to the next show, build to the next show, build to the next show. Whew, awesome stuff. And then in the main event, we have a no disqualification match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. You have Mike Bennett, the challenger, Lashley, the champion. Heel versus heel. I'm not a fan of that though. It's just a strange dynamic. I'm just a traditional guy. I hate that. That's one thing that sucked about this show, is that even though you got the great shit at the end with Moose and Bennett, you could have done that a different way. Because you made Bennett look like he isn't a credible championship contender because he lost and looked like an imbecile doing it. And secondly, it's heel versus heel. That shouldn't be done. Maybe I'm just a narcissistic old cunt, but sorry, I shouldn't use that word, bastard, sorry. But I don't like that at all. Moose is on the ramp with the pipe. Maria grabs Lashley's foot. Bennett hits a cutter for 2. Bennett basically screams for the lead pipe. As Moose goes over, he prevents it, stops, doesn't give him the pipe. Lashley spear, 1, 2, 3. Lashley retains. This, guys, was basically to give Lashley something to do, as they're just 28 days away from, or I was 30 at the time, 30 days away from the Bound for Glory. And again, guessing the Bennett Moose food. And then after the match, Bennett cuts a promo. He tells Moose to get into the ring. Moose goes into the ring, and that if he ever does that again, he will never even wrestle in any ring ever again, and slaps him. Because remember, Moose came in with Bennett. Moose then clotheslines Bennett, again signifying we're going to get a Bennett versus Moose feud. Bound for Glory, if you think about this, you have Bobby Lashley versus EC3, Bennett versus Moose, Drew Galloway, Aaron Rex, X Division Championship match. You have the Decay versus the Hardys. You could do Trevor Lee versus Andrew Everett for the managerial rights for Gregory Helms. That's what I would do. That sounds like a card I'd actually be willing to watch. But again, one thing. Depends on the build. They got a good streak going here. I really enjoyed this show. I'm going to go to live comments again to see if we have any. Not guaranteed to have any, of course, because it's a strange time for me to be recording. Because in America right now, it's only 5 p.m. But we are 3 likes, 0 dislikes. That's what I like to see. No live comments. That's strange. We normally have at least 1 live comment in the show. But maybe we're going to have a comments-heavy post-show. Post-live, that being. So thank you very much for watching the show. There you are. Click to summarize. This show was a win. I very much enjoyed it. You will too if you just hashtag give TNA a chance. I'm not one of these TNA cocksuckers, all right, guys. This is just me, LK. Come on. Dude, I spend my time bashing. Okay? I bash TNA. I bash WWE. I bash everything. Okay? I watch what I see on my TV screen. If I like it, I'm putting it over. If I don't, I don't. I don't care what... I said this to Coco earlier off air. I don't care what logo is on my screen. I don't care if there's 6 sides. I don't care if there's 52 sides. All I care about is, did me, LK, enjoy that show? And I did. It was good. It was enjoyable. And I was sports entertained. Remember, when you are watching this, this is not a professional wrestling show. This is a sports entertainment show. I'm sorry, TNA diehards. That's what it is. I've accepted that. I know that. And that's why I enjoy this show so much. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Make sure you all stay safe. Make sure you buy Dave Coco's book. Make sure you check out KocoSports.net. Follow Dave Coco on Twitter at KocoSports. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at LK Wrestling. Also, make sure you check out this YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment on what your thoughts and opinions were on this week's edition of Impact Wrestling. But more importantly, stay safe, stay well. From your host LK here on LK Live, I'll be catching your asses down the line.